Okay, we're going to show you our back system here, the glove box. Right now I took the front glass off, so let's go around the side where I'll show you that later. We're going to clean the inside. You can open either antechamber leading to your vacuum ovens. And we'll make sure the O-rings are clean. You get filters on the intake and out, so the gas will flow through the box and be purified. And that's over here on the control unit. Let's close that door real quick and heat. So the monitor here is not working well, so we replaced it with this this monitor here. And what I'll do is I'll put a shelf here and we'll bring this inside. But I just want to show you that the computer system is working. There's a microprocessor board here, and we have a video card here, and then we have some drives, 24-volt drives for our valving, which will control your 110-volt valves. And right now, I don't know if you can read the screen. I just booted it up, so you'll get this initially. I'll go ahead and hit escape. And you'll have, this is your normal operation here. Now I hit the escape on, this is your keys, these are the only keys you use here. And you can step through different functions here. For instance, here it says press function key for options menu. And that'll bring you into here. And this is where you would set your, by hitting escape. Hitting function again. This is the up down key to move the arrow. Here you can set your high pressure limit. And right now it's set to 3, so that's why the green bar is here on 3. You can change it by hitting the up down arrows. You can see that it's changing your high pressure limit. And same with the low. That'll be the low side, up down arrow to change it. So that's where you set your range of where you want your pressure to be. If you want to be positive pressure, you'll have the green bar in here somewhere. We'll go through that when I do the final demonstration. But I just want to show you that the computer system is working. Here's your drivetrain control. Typically you'll run a normal operation here, regeneration. So we're going to go through this, make sure all the valves are working properly. And right now there was an oxygen sensor in there, analyzer. It's this one down here. The cell is depleted. I'm going to try to get a replacement cell. And what we'll do is we'll put this on here, and AMI sells this unit, plus this is an updated unit plus the cell. We have it here in house, and I'll be able to use this as a replacement if necessary. Most likely we will go ahead and use this. In this case, you'll just go ahead and buy the cell. It's about $149 from AMI. We'll provide you with the initial one, and typically they last about a year. And you'll go ahead and you just replace the cell in there. You turn it on, and you're set to go. Well, here you'll typically flow about 1 liter per, let's see, 1 liter per hour. Hang on 1 second. You'll have to flow the gas that's inside the box through this unit so that it can read the parts per million. It'll read down to 1 part per million. We'll get that set up for you. Again, we'll be pulling the gas through a line through here. Some of these do have a vacuum pump in it. Some don't. I'm not sure if this one does or not. If not, you'll have to put a small diaphragm pump on it just to put in a flow gauge in order to put 1 liter per minute through there. All right. What else do we got? Oh, we'll take a walk around the back here. We do have a chart recorder, and that's just TC for each one of the vacuum ovens is connected to this. So I'll show you both readouts. I'll show you that around the back here. So this TC here, as well as the other one, these two ovens are identical. these get connected up to the chart recorder. As you can see here, this is our inlet and outlet for the circulation. And you see these pipes are a certain length, so we have to spread it apart at this distance. And the reason for that is so that you can get in between here and operate your and you have room here to work. Leave this open. Go back in here, and I wouldn't, this is hot right now, I'm heating it up just to show you that it is working. The other one's going to work identical. You do have two shelves here. There's two TCs that are actually mounted right onto this, this metal box. So it's reading the temperature, and as you pull vacuum, it'll heat the tables up for you, so you got direct contact with heat. Your controllers here, COC1 oven controller. You can run I'm running it manually right now. I have the key switched to manually. I have, as you can see, he's at 133. Over temp's reading the same. I have a program to 184. The maximum is 200. And again, to change the temperature, you'll press the set button, or step over to say, I'll change that to 0. And you'll see that we're over temp now. This alarm went off. So this alarm here was set to cover temp. I'll make sure that's working properly, but you're double protected here. You do have an over temp here in case this one fails. So. Anyway, we'll go ahead back and we'll set that to you can set an alarm in here, so it must be that was probably set to a different limit. I didn't check that yet. What else do we got? Oh, you can switch to time mode. I just want to show you that the timer turns on when you hit start, and it'll go ahead and allow your heaters to heat up for the amount of time that you have programmed in here. This is 45 minutes, and then it'll shut it off. And let's go back to here and stop. This one is identical. Make sure it works the same exact way. Oh, the other thing too is it does have a Pirani gauge connected so that you can read your vacuum. You do have your regular inches per mercury gauge here, which will be down to -30, but this will be more accurate and give you an accurate reading of what your pressure is inside your vacuum chamber. You'll be vacuuming on the oven. Okay, you do have a controlled atmosphere system here. I was going through this, and basically these 3 buttons aren't being used right now. They're not hooked up. The yellow here will turn on the evacuation. I'll have to go back get it here. What we have is a Allen Bradley controller. So this Allen Bradley controller is controlling your vacuum pump. This system was designed to run with 2. It came in with 1. We're going to hook it up the same way. We're going to use 1 vacuum pump for both chambers. We'll tie them together. And then you have a vacuum valve, and you have 2 separate vent valves. So when you go ahead and hit this yellow button, I've been going through this to see how this Allen Bradley is working exactly. You hit the yellow button, it'll turn the vacuum valve open and turn the vacuum pump on, and you'll evacuate. This valve is always left open. You'll evacuate through your line here into your chamber. And then when you want to refill it, you'll go ahead and hit the red button. That will shut the vacuum pump off, close the vacuum valve, and vent through the right side vent here. You also have the capability of operating it manually. And it's labeled down here. And you have a vacuum pump, turn on and off. You have a vacuum valve you can turn on and off. You can see the inputs are working here, and you do have a vent. This vent is actually for the left-hand side vent valve up here, which is the yellow line. So I guess if you want to vent with a different gas, you can actually hook up two different gases on either one of those valves. It's the same is true with the other side. It'll act exactly the same. And this is your inputs. You're not connected to any, well, I have air connected to one of them. You can have air, nitrogen, something like that, hook up to your two vent valves, and here's your regulators for them. Again, it'll operate exactly the same as the other stuff. And then, what else we got? Finally, just coming around the back of the this box here, where you'll hook up all your separate lines. This is your regen gas for to regen your purifier. Vacuum is not used here. It's fine thought. Purge vent, so as you're doing a regeneration, you're going to be purging your purifier, which is down here, while it's being heated. And it'll go through the regen process, and what they do here is they'll heat it for a certain length of time, whatever's in the program. Then I'll go ahead and turn the regen gas on. It'll run through the purifier and out the purge vent. And then it'll go under vacuum for a couple hours. It's typically anywhere from a 10 to 12 hour process to regen your purifier. And you do have some valves here to isolate it, so during the regeneration, or if you don't want to run the blower, you'll go ahead and close these valves. They isolate the purifier from the system, and this little box here is your blower. It'll circulate the gas from the box. So as it's coming in, it'll go through the blower first, through the purifier, back out, and if you follow these lines, it'll go into the inlet of the box. So your box gas is being processed. Again, here's your outlet. It'll come out of here. Follow this line in. Outside line comes down to the blower first, out the blower to the purifier, and then back to the box on the other side. So that's what we got here now. We're doing the work. We're going through, making sure everything works properly. Again, there is a vacuum pump required through the process along too. So we will install a vacuum pump, which will sit right down in here. And this is just to keep your pressure inside your box. And if you want to reduce the pressure, you need vacuum to pull the nitrogen or argon gas, whatever you have inside the box. You need it to pull the gas out. If you want to run at a negative pressure, you need to pull the gas out. So you do have a vacuum pump just for the process. And that's located here. It's a smaller pump, it won't be as large as the one we have for the vacuum oven. So you have to add a pump here, and we're going to put a single pump here that's going to operate both of these vacuum ovens. It does have the capability too to have a moisture probe installed, and that is typically installed here. This unit didn't have one, but if you decide you want to add one in the future, just to monitor the moisture inside the box, it's generally a probe that sticks right inside here, and here's your connection cord. Oh, and finally, there's a purge. You can purge the box. For instance, when you're first bringing it up, you'll have your blower off, your purifier closed, and you'll go ahead and you just purge your inert gas through the box, and it just allows the gas to come in and come out. And that way you can purify your box. You can bring it down to a low level before you go ahead and turn on your blower and purifier. I think that covers about it. There's valves here for your circulation. They're normally kept open because, like I said, they're isolated with those valves above the purifier. If you need to isolate the box completely, I'll provide a handle here so you can go ahead and close this wall valve. So these are basically two ball valves that normally left open, but in case you want to, for any reason you want to close them, you can go ahead and turn the valve. The box will be completely isolated from the purifying unit. We do provide, there's a 110 outlet provided. Oh, let's go with the power requirements. The two ovens require 220 volt. Oh, here's the tags. 208, between 208 and 240, 20 amps. It's a 4-wire connection, so it has 2 phases, a ground and a neutral. And from this box, it'll provide the 110 to the outlet here. The outlet is connected to your Allen Bradley PLC right here, so it's necessary for that. On the other side, it has an outlet. It's not really being used for anything, but you do have the well, actually, it may be used for the chart recorder. I'll end up connecting the chart recorder here. But the same is true here. You have a 4-wire connection, 20 amps, 208 to 240, 2 phases, neutral ground, and will provide a 110 to your atmosphere. That's where this box gets connected to, for the 110 inside. Go ahead and plug that right there. The unit over here is just a 110 outlet. I have it connected here. That's all you need for this one. It's an extension to a 110 outlet. And then you'll put your, going back to here, your inert gas, whether it's argon, nitrogen, typically we use nitrogen here. We'll go ahead and bring that in here. There's a pressure control, the box purge, and your pressure sense. So it needs to sense the pressure. There's actually a sensor mounted right internally inside here. I don't know if you can see it, but that'll tell you what the pressure of the box is. I think the scale here is inches of water. Yeah, so that would be your lab pressure here, inches of water. So it'll go from -5 to +5. And here's your oxygen level, moisture level here. Again, we don't have a probe hooked up. It's going to read 0. And oxygen is not hooked up, it's going to read 0. And you can adjust your blower speed here. Right down here, you press up and down. You can hear that the blower did turn on. The blower's down here. So these valves are right now in the open position. These valves are pneumatically controlled. Probably using the inert gas. I haven't checked that out yet. But typically they'll use the gas bottle to operate these valves here. And then slow the blower down. So there's a little bit more work to do here, but overall it's looking like a pretty good system. Everything seems to be working properly. You can see our oven's heating up even though I have the door open. Again, you have the Crony gauge. We need to make sure that reads atmosphere when it's at atmosphere and check the calibration on that. Same true with the other one. All right, if you have any other questions, just give us a call. We'll let you know how it's going.